brokers, properties, as well as, notes in the future. We're going to try to sell some notes. If you might have some notes in Detroit that we know a note buyer that wants to buy it, we'll sell it out to that, sell it to them. So we've added a brokerage division. And, of our business.
Now listen about in
yeah, we're actually, our office is in Livonia, Michigan, which is probably about 10 minutes outside of Detroit. We are fully intertwined in the city of Detroit. We know what's going on. We know what neighborhoods to buy in, what neighborhoods not to buy in. We know, where to stay out of, where to buy in the neighborhoods that are hot, neighborhoods where, homeowners are selling and are a hot homeowner area. And, that's where we pride ourselves on knowing, what asset class we're buying or we're getting into every time we buy a property or manage a property.
Mm-hmm.
So we can set expectations properly.
Sure. No, that makes complete sense. Now, how is it, what kind of changes have you seen happen in the last 24 to 36 months? I'm sure you've seen quite a bit take place there in your area, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, you've seen, new construction going up. You've seen right near my office, I actually have in my parking lot Holiday Inn Express that was just built, completed around 8 or 9 months ago. And right down the street of Hampton Inn, we have another development right down the street of about 1 million square feet of warehouse space that is being rented out. About 3/4 of the mile from my office. I'm not even talking about Detroit here yet. We have a bowling alley that just got knocked down, and they're turning it into RV and boat storage. So we've seen in the market a lot of new construction going on. Unemployment has dropped. There are more opportunities for people to work. The neighborhoods being cleaned up, new lighting, increased, police and fire department, services, and just a lot of blight being removed. And we've also, one of the most important things that I can mention here is we've seen increase in values. And the reason why I say that is the homes that used to buy 24, 36 months ago, they've appreciated so much. And there's a program called Detroit Home Mortgage, which is, it's publicized pretty well. And what they do is they're upping the values of the homes by having given people a second mortgage, which is above the value of the home, and that's strategic just to raise comps throughout the city of Detroit. So we've seen a tremendous improvement in neighborhoods and just city services, and the mayor is doing a phenomenal job. Mike Duggan is just a phenomenal mayor, and Dan Gilbert, who is amazing. I mean, he is just a genius when it comes to the revitalization of the entire city. Partnered up with Mike Duggan in the city of Detroit to do a lot of those things, as well as the Illich family. So yeah, we've seen a lot of improvements.
That's good to hear. I know Dan Gilbert's got to be he's probably in a little bit of a grumpy mood lately. He's the owner of the Cavs. He just lost.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure, but they say he was okay with it because supposedly he wanted to get his team back because LeBron was kind of calling the shots there. So he feels he'll rebound in about 2 or 3 years. So we'll see what happens.
Good stuff. Now everybody is. I think when people. I've loved Michigan from the get-go because it's a relatively fast foreclosure state. We had a attorney on yesterday afternoon, Frank Barilli, talking about the markets in Michigan and what it takes to foreclose and evictions and things like that yesterday. Give people a feel for it. If there's a number, because I think a lot of people are used to hey, you're driving by, there's a nice house and there's 5 burnouts next to it or 5 vacant ones. That perception of Detroit really needs to start going away, because I mean you probably still have some of those neighborhoods on the southeast side of the downtown a little bit, maybe between there and Grosse Pointe.
Sure.
But those are changing though too, correct? You're not seeing as much of that.
So I would say, the east side is mainly an area where you see a lot of neighborhoods that have more distress and some board ups and burn downs, but you're seeing less of that because we're seeing a lot more investors pick up those properties and revitalize them. You're seeing areas that in the future I look at potential of developers coming down there and putting up apartment complexes or new single family homes, and a lot of that's going on. But one thing that people got to remember is that the job growth and the opportunities got to keep up with the development, and I think it's there. I really see with a new bridge going up. There's a new bridge that's going up from Detroit to Canada.
The Gordie Howe Bridge, right? That's a Gordie Howe Bridge.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on, and I put my confidence in guys like Dan Gilbert in the city of Detroit that are creating opportunities for companies to come in here and to create jobs for the residents, and then that's where you see that revitalization of those homes with burn downs or whatnot being knocked down, and developers coming in there and having ideas of ways to put up new construction or do other things with it. So it just you see a lot of improvement on the east side of Detroit.
That's good. That's a good thing. Now, kind of going back into the numbers, is there, because you guys look at properties to eventually turn into turnkey rentals, is there a price point as far as the monthly rents in an area that you try to stay above? I mean, it's one thing is, Scott, we never try to go too high in the rents either, because you don't want that tenant to be thinking about moving out of your house. You want to try to have that tenant stay in your house for 3 to 5 years. So I would say that our average rent rate is probably right around $850. That's probably the median rent rate of homes that we provide to tenants. And that works really well because we got an abundance of tenants that sweet spot of $850 works really well for. And that's probably our median price point in the city of Detroit. Now you get other areas where the rent is $900, $950, or $1,000. But once you get to that $1,200 mark, I think that's the cap that you really see in the city of Detroit. And that's usually a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, with a 2-car garage and a certain area. But I never like to go above 1,200. Not in Detroit. That's just not where I feel the clientele, where that property, that number serves a clientele really well. Because one of the great things I think that you do, if I remember correctly, is you try to put people into a long-term lease, right? It's not just a 6-month. It's sometimes a 2-year, 3-year.
Yeah, absolutely. So our goal is to sign people up for a 24-month plus lease. Sometimes we have, believe it or not, someone in a 5-year lease, but our goal is a 24-month lease. And then what we do is 90 days prior to the lease coming due, we contact them and get them to re-sign up. And generally with the finishes of our houses and the way that we communicate with our tenants and take care of our, tenants and whatever they need and maintenance wise, we have success signing them up. So our average tenant stay is going up, to 3.5 years roughly now. That's what we've seen. And, now is that every tenant? No, you have some tenants that'll stay 5 years and you have some tenants that'll be there for 2 years. So it's just all across the board on the length of stay. But our goal is to get them to stay there as long as possible, because we feel that the city is on a tenant turn, and you don't have that window of long for 30 or 60 days, which we never. But it does happen.
Well, but it's a beautiful thing, because I think a lot of investors look at too short term, 6 or 12 months, and they start thinking, well, I don't think I'd sign a 2-year lease. Well, when you look at these houses and rehab and the absolute value put into it, it's a brand new house a lot. So who wouldn't want to stay there at the same rent for 2 years and fix it in and really, it's a home. They may not own it, but you got some great opportunities for that too, because I know that you, like you said before, hey, if you guys wants to come in and wants to buy, you'll put them on a land contract or a CFD or help them get things rock and rolling, and really got a big heart for helping out your fellow man there locally. So
absolutely. I would love also to share some videos with you one day of our renovations, so you can see some before and after to kind of see the product that we provide. And we're able to do that in an economical fashion because it's the law of volume. We have generally 70 to 80 rehabs going on at one time. We buy materials in bulk, quality materials in bulk. And we keep our crews busy all year round. We have around 40 to 50 crews that work for us. So, we can provide those kind of rehabs in an economical fashion and still make money for the investor as well as ourselves, by providing quality turnkey products.
Mm-hmm. So what I just did for pulled up your website and posted there for people to take a look at it, because it's really, you've got some great stuff. Strategyproperties.com is the website there for you. Got some great photos. Like I said, you just do a great job with stuff. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things, because I think you do some things a little bit different than most people. Why don't you talk about kind of philosophy when you're buying a node or a property and you take it back? You have a specific philosophy of what you want to put into that property or how you want to make it look?
Yeah, so we generally, let's say there's hardwood floors in the home. We're trying to always restore the hardwood floors because we feel that it's really good for wear and tear. We also think the look of it is just phenomenal. When you finish a hardwood floor, it just looks great. Now there's sometimes when we get some homes that we take over and they have tile floors in the kitchens or bathrooms. Well, that's a situation where you can clean it up. I always look at clean, repair, replace. If I have a new tile floor, there's no way and there's no reason to tear that out. That would be absolutely silly. So our first option when we train our scope writers to go into homes is cleaning, saving what we could save that's in good shape and is going to be a benefit to the home. Then repairing some items. You might have new cabinets that just need new hardware on there. That makes a lot of sense. And then we go into the replacement portion where we're mainly tearing out and gutting out kitchens and bathrooms. That's mainly what we do. But in some circumstances, we can save them. And it would be helpful to you and your community on the We Close Nodes network. I would love to even walk through and show sometime on video. I could create some videos for you guys to show you guys how we write scopes of work and how we come up with our pricing, because that may give, whether someone's buying notes in Michigan or Illinois or in Texas, this just gives you a certain standard and philosophy that we follow on how to write scopes of work and how to price them out, and then how to get the work done. So a lot of people in the note business, you take over properties. I take over properties sometimes, and someone just doesn't want to pay, or they don't want to do cash or keys, or they're just not interested in staying in a property. Well, we take it over. Or if it's vacant, there's a notice of presumptive abandonment that we do. We get the property back because no one's living in the home. Well, then we're at the situation where we can write a scope of work. But in my situation, I'm buying a lot of vacants or homes that are sold without an owner in the home. And, I'm always writing scopes of work. So we're really familiar with that. And we'd be more than happy to help out whoever would like to see our process.
Right. Now, one of the great things is you were mentioning beforehand about the fact that just as we were getting on here, like, oh, hey, I just bought some assets. I just bought some stuff, some notes just this week on things. Now, do you like two things? A lot of people get in the note game. They like the performing side. They like to buy the non-performing and do a modification workout with a homeowner to get reperforming so they don't have to do some work. That's one of my favorite things. But with the rehab side, you're not scared of the vacant properties because you're there locally and doing some things there. So what's your favorite? What's your bread and butter when it comes to looking at notes for? What do you prefer?
Oh gosh, I would say like I bought, we buy land contracts too in Michigan. Sometimes, they're not even a mortgage note, they're a land contract. But I would say that personally, I would like to. I have two favorites. One, which is buying a home, a note, and having it vacant where we could do a notice of presumptive abandonment, get it back, but we bought it at a discount where it makes a lot of sense. Then I like the option of a homeowner living in the home and us remodifying the note, and sometimes taking them into a lease for the first, maybe 6 months to make sure that they're really going to perform well, and then putting a down payment down. and getting it reperforming, because at that point, you may be in a great situation where you're into the note for, only X amount, and your return on investment is very high. So those are my two favorite aspects of the note business.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Because that's just what's so great about this business, is that we are literally seeing deals 6 to 12 to 24 months before it ever hits the MLS, before your traditional fix and flippers are looking for it, right? Sure. It's a whole avenue that most people don't know. But I was literally speaking in Houston 2 nights ago to some people talking about guys, believe it or not, Texas is second in the nation as far as defaults right now after the hurricanes. Yeah, Michigan
up a lot there.
Starting to see stuff because of the floods and stuff like that, and everybody else affected from their jobs. But yeah, we're starting to see it. It's at like 6.7% of all of Houstonians are in default, which is kind of crazy. So, but that's the thing, is there's opportunity there if you know where it's going. And for years, I've been screaming, hey, there's opportunity where the high default rates are. There's opportunity with a lot of foreclosures because you can get stuff at a discount that makes sense. And I see, I pay attention, and I love what you're doing, because I see you travel. You're traveling more so, spreading the Detroit gospel, as I like to say, out to in different parts of the country at different expos, or you're also part of a couple different masterminds I see with different investors, sharing the fact that, hey, this is an opportunity. What's going on there with appreciation in double figures for the last couple of years in Michigan for the most part, right?
Sure, absolutely, it has been.
But it's affordable at that point compared to like a Houston. I'm not a Houston, California, Arizona, Nevada. Well, even Houston, where the median home price is almost $300,000, you can buy a lot of houses there in Michigan, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, wow. I mean, if you know how many houses you could buy for $300,000, it's like, wow, So people are like, when they come down to Michigan, like I said, I had a couple that you and I know, that great couple that were here last night. We had dinner with them, and honestly, I took them to dinner, and then we went around the downtown area, and we took a look at some different areas in Michigan and Detroit, and then we came down to my office, and he was like, hey, when can we get started, because this is amazing, because you see that Detroit isn't what you think it would be from what you hear about it. When you come here, yeah, there's actually people that live here. Yeah, there's actually business and industry. So it's great. It really is.
Well, it's nice to see when you have the major employers like the big three doing well, getting back up. It not only leads to it's a rippling effect. Not only does it do well there locally in Detroit, does it across the state, and even rippling into Indiana and Ohio and those other cities out there that have manufacturing, like Fort Wayne is doing well again in Indiana. Parts of Ohio are doing well as well. So that's the thing. I think a lot of people struggle with the fact. I talked to somebody the other day. He's like, "Oh, we got somebody up in Lubbock right now, and he's used to doing fix and flips in the Lubbock area. And he's an engineering mindset, and he's like, I got to touch it. I got to feel it." And I'm like, "No, you don't. I mean, if you reach out to other people, you reach out to professionals in the markets like yourself, you've got somebody there who's going to handle all the work. You can have fun. You don't have to be a over analyst paralysis individual. Come up, see what's going on, see how well Mike is doing, and his whole team is there to take care of it. And it really creates a true win-win. It's a win-win for the investors because they're buying an asset that makes sense. It's a win for you guys too. Besides, you understand the note game. You also understand the rehab, the rental, the after thing, or the sales price, stuff like that. So that's the thing I keep telling people, listen, this is a network of people. Quit trying to do it all yourself. Find good vendors like you guys' strategy to really do the heavy lifting for a lot of people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we provide services, property management, as well as, construction services. And, one thing we pride ourselves in, it's our key in my business, since I've been in business, is I have my entire staff that is on the same wavelength, which is, taking care of the client. Always take care of the client. Always be honest and communicate with the client. Even if it's something they don't want to hear, be honest and communicate with them. And you could never go wrong with that. And to me, that's that's where our success is. We don't have a magic system or anything that is other than working hard and using our resources. But we use honesty, respect, and integrity and communication to deal with clients. And that's where, like you mentioned, yeah, it doesn't have to be a headache. You could use resources of the right people and companies to work with that can deliver, and you could prosper from investing the right way.
Right. Now, as you see a lot of investors coming into your backyard there, is there been a surprise, or has it been kind of a regular river from different parts of the country or different countries of people coming in?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen multiple different countries from our world that come in here and buy from us, and we manage for not only China, Taiwan, Singapore, London. Has been a lot of investors from London, France, South Africa, Israel, Canada. So we've seen a lot of international investors that are here. Lately, we've seen a lot of South American investors that have come up from, Brazil and different parts of South America, and then domestically in the U.S. Miami. A lot of people from Miami have been coming here because they're just real estate doesn't make sense at those prices down there, and then New York and California. California has is one of the bigger ones, but then you have also Miami and New York. So it's been quite interesting to see and meet so many different people, and then to service them and provide them with the best services that we can provide, and doing things the right way produces results.
Mm-hmm. Now, you have obviously you've gone through the EOS system, so you've read Traction, obviously, right?
Yes.
Great book. Absolutely great book. Anybody who's got a business with employees, I think that's one of the most important things they can read. Or even if you don't have employees, read it and learn to evolve into it. What has been your biggest surprise from starting to implement those theories and thoughts into your business?
I would say that you gotta holding people accountable, and before holding people accountable, having the right people.
Mm.
So sometimes you might have the right people and they're in the wrong seats on the bus, and you got to move them around and they'll excel. So mainly understanding your people, understanding their strengths, and then letting them know that there's a certain culture that we have in our company, which is providing the best services possible for clients. You take care of clients, clients take care of you. And you don't take care of clients, you don't take care of yourself. And that's a really the biggest way I look at it. And that's being open, upfront, and honest. And it's delivering results from them, and also creating proper expectations. So EOS has helped us to not only identify the right people that we want in our company, but also what seats to put them in, and then finding the right leaders to hold their teams accountable. And I think that's a very important part of any business, whether you're baking cookies, you're selling cookies, or if you're selling cars or homes, or if you're in technology, you got to hold people accountable. And we have process maps for everything we do. We create a process map, so we're not going to assume someone knows what I'm thinking or what a leader is thinking. We create a process map, and we make sure we go through it. We make sure everyone understands it, and that will lead us to what we want to get to, which is favorable results.
Yeah, that's huge. Now you've joined a couple masterminds. How important have masterminds been to you helping with your growth over the last couple of years?
Well, definitely it's helped out. I mean, I think that, being around the right people such as yourself and other experts in the business is very important. And then we feed off of each other. Like, I have actually, two or three very important questions for you that I want to ask you at some point. And I feel comfortable where I can send you even a text because I know you're jumping on a plane today. So I'm not going to call you when you're, going through security. So I'm going to probably send you a text. Say, hey, Scott, real quick question. I'm looking for, a lender on performing notes. Do you know anyone that does that? So, it's so important to have those resources around you. But, it all also boils down to the fact that you have to learn from experience and get your feet wet. You can go out and read a million books, but I don't think anything is as important as experience. But then experience coupled with surrounding yourself with the right people that you can communicate with, and they'll give you honest and straightforward answers to help you in your journey is very important. And that's why, I like to, build long-term bridges with people. I never like to burn them. It just, I think that's, gosh, that is just a killer. And you want to build those bridges as much as possible, because I think the one that has the most bridges is generally a very successful person.
That's a great way to put it. I love it. Bridges don't often get built by yourself. They can, but they take time. But if you've got somebody on the other end working to build that bridge over, you meet in the middle a lot of times, and it gets twice the work done in half the time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And being able to align yourself with other networks or getting in and figuring out, other people's strengths that help offset your weaknesses or vice versa is one of the most important things when it comes to masterminds and being able to share. And honestly, I think one of the biggest things is being open. I think I've been to places where people weren't open and they continue to struggle. But those that were open, hey, here's a problem that I have. Here's a shortcoming that I have. And you will often see people in the audience or in the same mastermind come and say, well, okay, great. Well, I can help you with that. I can help you with this. And it really, it's such a good, warm feeling to have that kind of those relationships.
Sure. Absolutely. I completely agree with you on that.
Mike, I don't want to take too much more of your time because we're coming kind of the end of the time here. I want to, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you and reach out to you?
Oh, well, they could go, visit our website, take a look at our website. If they ever have any questions on what we provide or what we do, or services that we provide, or if they ever need any assistance, please feel free to email me. That's usually the best route. And so many people in the past, Scott, over the past couple of years have emailed me and, talked about they work with you and how much respect they have for you, and they're in the Detroit market and they know that you've told them about me. And then they may need some advice on comps in the area or opinion in the area. And I'm honest with them. I tell them if they say, hey, what about this area? We pull comps and say, well, and they're looking at buying a note. Well, I don't know if I would do, I would buy that note in that area, but everything has its price, correct? Everything has its price. So, I let them know what I would consider A area, a B area, a C area, a C minus, and a D area. Well, some people make a ton of money in the D area and notes because they're buying it for pennies and they're turning around and selling it. So, everyone has their own strategy, but on me, it's my obligation to tell them the comps in the area or what they can, sell it for, or, the rental rate in the area. And I'm more than happy to do that. Some people have asked me to help, clean up homes or rekey homes and, get the home ready to show. We're more than happy to do that. Or to list the home for sale on the MLS. We do that. Our brokerage division does that. So we have a brokerage division called Your Path Realty, and that's what they do. We don't we basically work with owners that want to sell or buy real estate or buy notes, and we lead them to, we might say, hey, Scott, we have this investor that's looking to buy some notes, do you have a tape? Well, that's where when I reach out to you, and so we're more than happy to help your clients throughout the country with anything they need. And the best way to reach me is via email. And then what I'll do is usually put them in touch with different department heads that I have. because can I drill in? Of course I can drill in, but sometimes I have people that drill in further than me, and they can help them out quicker. So they generally send me an email. Then if they want to do something with property management or selling a property, buying a property, listing a property, whatever it may be, I point them in the right direction to people in our company, and we help them out. And even if it's not something where financial related, they want advice, contact us. We're here. We build bridges. We want to be someone that can be an asset to, investors in any realm of the business.
That's awesome. Well, Mike, as always, thank you so much. Like I said, guys, reach out to him and his team and do a great job. If Detroit is a market you're invested in, it's one of your top markets. I will be giving you a phone call once I land tonight to figure out, trying to catch up with you. And swing by the office so we grab coffee or something.
I would love that.
For sure. But Mike, as always, thank you so much. Always giving of your time. Thank you for being here and sharing your insight.
My pleasure, Scott. And, anyone that wants to ever email me with any questions, my email address is mike@strategyig.com. And, they're more than welcome to email me with any questions in the Detroit and Southeast Michigan market. That's what our expertise is. And, we're more than happy to help you out. And Scott, you're a great friend. I appreciate you very much. I look forward to hopefully seeing you tonight or tomorrow, and, continuing our great friendship and our relationship and our business together throughout the years.
Yes, sir. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Hey, have a great evening or a great day. I'm sure your little daughter is growing up bigger, faster than a weed, huh?
Absolutely. Yeah. And she's the joy of my life. She really is. Her and my wife are phenomenal, and I just really enjoy my daughter. So I do all this for her. We actually just got back from Disney last week. It was our third trip this year. We absolutely love Disney, and it's just a fun time. So business is a huge part of us being able to, live the way we want to live, as well as give back to our community and try to be, good pillars for society. So we really appreciate you having us on here.
Hey, thanks, man. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, man. Take care.
All right, guys. Hey, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Note Closure Show. Again, there's Mike's email, mike@strategyig.com. You reach out to him and ask questions and his team back. Do you me a favor, please. If you don't have an asset that you're working through or have made an offer on, don't send them an email. Wait till you make that initial bid, and when you get a counter back, great. Then reach out to them. But don't bombard him with questions on stuff that you have not at least made a bid on. So once again, guys,